Alright guys, I'm back with another reading from Matthew, or chapter 2, and here we go. So the header for the start of this chapter is visitors arrive from eastern lands. I assume that is the wise men, but we'll get right into it and see what it is. Here we go. Jesus was born in Bethlehem in Judea during the reign of King Herod. About that time, some wise men from eastern lands arrived in Jerusalem, asking, "Where is the newborn King of the Jews? We saw his star as it rose, and we have come to worship him." King Herod was deeply disturbed when he heard this, as was everyone in Jerusalem. He called a meeting of the leading priests and teachers of religious law and asked, "Where is the Messiah supposed to be born?" "In Bethlehem in Judea," they said, "for this is what the prophet wrote. And you, O Bethlehem in the land of Judah, are not least among the ruling cities of Judah. For a ruler will come from you, who will be the shepherd for my people Israel." Then Herod called for a private meeting with the wise men, and he learned from them the time when the star first appeared. Then he told them, "Go to Bethlehem and search carefully for the child. And when you find him, come back and tell me so that I can go and worship him too." After this interview, the wise men went their way, and the star they had seen in the east guided them to Bethlehem. It went ahead of them and stopped over the place where the child was. When they saw the star, they were filled with joy. They entered the house and saw the child with his mother, Mary, and they bowed down and worshipped him. Then they opened their treasure chests and gave him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. When it was time to leave, they returned to their own country by another route, for God had warned them in a dream not to return to Herod. The escape to Egypt. After the wise men were gone, an angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream. "Get up, flee to Egypt with the child and his mother." The angel said, "Stay there until I tell you to return, because Herod is going to search for the child to kill him." That night, Joseph left for Egypt with the child and Mary, his mother, and they stayed there until Herod's death. This fulfilled what the Lord had spoken through the prophet, "I called my son out of Egypt." Herod was furious when he realized that the wise men had outwitted him. He sent soldiers to kill all the boys in and around Bethlehem who were 2 years old and under, based on the wise men's report of the star's first appearance. Herod's brutal action fulfilled what God had spoken through the prophet Jeremiah. A cry was heard in Ramah, weeping in great mourning. Rachel weeps for her children, refusing to be comforted, for they are dead. The return to Nazareth. When Herod died, an angel of the Lord appeared in a dream to Joseph in Egypt. "Get up," the angel said. "Take the child and his mother back to the land of Israel, because those who were trying to kill the child are dead." So Joseph got up and returned to the land of Israel with Jesus and his mother. But when he learned that the new ruler of Judea was Herod's son, Archelaus, that's a tough one, Archelaus, Archelaus, he was afraid to go. Then, after being warned in a dream, he left for the region of Galilee. So the family went and lived in a town called Nazareth. This fulfilled what the prophets had said: "He will be called a Nazarene." Now, besides the butchering of that name, which I look at it, Archelaus, Herod's son Archelaus. I don't know, that's a tough one. That's beyond me. At least for right now, I got no idea. I'm going to look it up. I struggle with this passage whenever I read about it. I know that prophecy came and this was the expectation, but I think of two things. One, a man in such power to be threatened by a child, to where the only way you would feel threatened is if it was the true son designed to come deliver God's people. And so you would have to believe in the prophecy first, and then to know that it is divine, that it's happening, and it's been foretold, to think that you would want to take action against it. Such powers that it's been hundreds of years, people say, hey, this is coming. And when it comes, you want to be the guy to stand in front of that. I couldn't imagine the sheer stupidity of that. And then, not only that, but I couldn't imagine being a soldier, getting the order to murder children, to only target children 2 years and younger. I know that back then, world leaders and warlords ruled with such an iron fist that to defy them would mean certain death. But to get such an order, for there not to be an immediate uprising, or for somebody to simply say no, I just am so baffled at that. I couldn't imagine. And I mean, I know that there's arguments to be made about certain political views and aspects and things like that. I know, I'm just so baffled by it. I can't even imagine something like that happening. Now, I don't know how many were slain in this. I don't know if there's specific numbers or if there's biblical support that says how many children were slain in the area and how many men followed out these orders. But I can't imagine just the atrocity that would be. I mean, there's not many times in history. Now, we've seen genocides, and all of those are horrible, and I would not take away from any type of sadness that is. But to specifically target 2 years and under, and for that to have been a lawful order, and it was followed through on, it's so crazy. And the fact that they knew it was going to happen, prophecy, people knew, say, how it would come to fruition, I don't think that they knew the exact details. But to be so specific in saying that, Rachel weeps for her children, refusing to be comforted, for they are dead. Heartbreaking. But I look forward to continuing to read the Gospels. As I become more aware of my own shortcomings of being a man, being human, and just trying to better myself every day, I couldn't imagine being, when did Jesus start feeling like Jesus? And just having that I know that he was aware of God and there was something divine about him, but I wanted to know it, like, did he know that at 2, 3, 4? When was he aware of his game plan? I mean, I gotta imagine it was the whole time. But what does that change about your perception of the world? Like, I get overwhelmed with my tiny little slice of Quincy, Michigan. I couldn't imagine having a heart for the world and eyes to love everybody, and just seeing how much heartbreak there is, and just, I don't know, it's a lot. So going through the Gospels is always tough for me because I couldn't imagine that combination of God and man and being fully both, and just dealing with that in a man's body, just the chaos that I think my mind would just implode. But again, that's why I love reading this. I guess we'll just go on to chapter 3 tomorrow and continue the pursuit of knowledge and work on that relationship with Jesus. But I love you. Jesus loves you. Have a great night, guys, and we will get to chapter 3 tomorrow, where it reads, John the Baptist prepares the way for Jesus. There we go. Chapter 3 tomorrow, guys. Have a great night.